Hello, 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 and welcome to tonight's session. We have tonight, where are you in the world? Let me know in the chat box where you are in the world. It's always nice to know where people are coming from in terms of this process. So let's get going here. And right, I just want to get to the chat, and I want to let everyone be able to chat to each other. Well, everyone should be able to chat to everyone else. Okay, so what we are going to do now is we are going to pivot straight into our presentation. And what we're going to be looking at is something that I think is going to have a fundamental game changer in your life. Now, you've just been watching that whole process from Alex Hormozi, and he's explaining there what is going on in the world and why it is so important. And why is the PowerPoint now not coming up? There it is. Okay, so we're ready to rock and roll. So I just want to say good evening to all of you. And I want to start with a simple question for you. What if you could create a version of yourself, a digital version of your thinking, something that can help you write, plan, organize your life, structure your business, and even guide your wealth decisions? Not someday, not when artificial intelligence gets smarter, but right now. Because something extraordinary is actually happening in the world today. And we're living through what I believe to be the single biggest leverage point of our lifetime. And it's happening faster than almost anyone expected. Artificial intelligence, AI, is changing the rules. But here's something interesting. Most people are not experiencing excitement. They're experiencing overwhelm. I want to change that for you tonight. I want to show you a safe, simple, and easy way to use AI so that you can 10x your life, your business, and your wealth. Now, if that sounds good, just type in the chat box, because then I believe that you're in the right place in terms of where we actually are. So I just want to, sorry, just 2 seconds here. That is the wrong presentation. And this is the one I want for you. So my question to you is, are you ready to 10x your life? You see, the question I ask myself every day is, how can I 10x my life? What if you, in the next 90 days, could build a system that would 10x your life, your business, and your wealth? Would you commit? Would you commit to something if you knew in the next 90 days you could 10x your life, your business, and your wealth? Do me a favor, type it in the chat box for me if you would commit. And I just want to get the chat box up there so that I can see everyone. Oh, I can see I'm not sharing my screen, which would have been useful for someone to tell me. Anyway, there I am, and let's get this going here. Okay, so it's just, that was the opening slide that I was sharing with you. In future, just shout if you are not seeing something, it would be useful for me to know. Okay. Great. What would it mean to you if in the next 90 days you could build a system to 10x your life, your wealth, and your business? Would you commit? Now, you see, some people come in and they say, yeah, I'm not really good at this. I don't understand technology. I feel a bit overwhelmed. And so I wanted to share something with you that could help you. Because before we even start the program that I'm going to share with you tonight, I'm going to show you how to become a ChatGPT or Gemini or Claude power user. I'm going to show you how to set up an account. I'm going to tell you the difference between paid and free. I'm going to show you how to use ChatGPT, and wherever I use ChatGPT, you can have Gemini or Claude safely. I'm going to show you how you can organize your chats and your projects. I'm going to show you how to upload your documents. I'm going to show you how to write good prompts. And I'm going to help you avoid all of the mistakes the beginners normally make. You see, I get these questions all the time when I start talking about AI, and people raise, concerns around their tech ability. They say, I don't really understand, tech, or, do I use the paid tools, or is it safe? So in a workshop, and it's going to literally be a live workshop, I'm going to run this on the 27th of April, so next Monday. It happens to be Freedom Day, so Nelson Mandela, it's the day that he started the new democracy, and it's literally known as Freedom Day. And for me, AI is the number one thing that can provide you freedom. And I'm going to explain that to you tonight. So in that session, next Monday in the evening, I'm going to show you how to set up ChatGPT properly. That obviously includes Gemini and Claude. I'm going to show you what AI tools you need. I'm going to understand how to use privacy. So how can you set it up privately and get all the safety and the basics in place? I'm going to teach you how to start writing your first prompts. I'm going to show you 50 incredible things that ChatGPT can do, stuff you've never even thought of that will fundamentally shift your life. Literally this time next week, you will have all of these prompts. You'll know how to use it. And I guarantee you that it'll fundamentally shift your life. And what you're going to do is you're going to go from a beginner that is probably just using ChatGPT like Google or maybe making some pretty pictures to a power user. That is the aim. And some of the questions I get from people, do I need to be technical? No. If you can literally go cut, copy, paste, and if you can just follow me, then you can do this. So cut, copy, paste, follow me, you can do this. Do I need a paid AI? No. You literally can start with the free version, and I will show you how to set it up in the smartest way to get the results. Is this safe? Yes. We will show you a practical way to set up the privacy and security principles so that you can build it intelligently. Something I get asked all the time. Scott, but I work in corporate. I'm an employee. Is this still for me? Yes, because it's going to give you better thinking, better communication, better productivity, better execution. Look, business is simple. If you add more value, you're going to get paid more money. That's just the way the world works. So whether you own a business or whether you're an employee in a business, if you add more value, you are going to increase your remuneration. And so no matter where you work, this has been designed to help you go from a beginner. And again, a lot of people might be using ChatGPT, but are you using it properly? I'm going to teach you how to go from a beginner into a power user. So, sound good? Who would like to do that? If that would be of interest to you, just type in ChatGPT. And again, if you do Gemini or Claude, I don't mind, right? Gemini or Claude. The point being is that one of those three systems, ChatGPT, Gemini or Claude, we want you by this time next week to be a power user. That's our intention. If you by next Tuesday want to be a power user, then you should pay attention because I'm going to literally show you and teach you how to do that. The next thing that I wanted to share with you is the 3 simple steps. Again, people confuse things and they make it complicated, and it doesn't need to be so complicated. Because to 10x your life, the first thing you need to do is you need to learn how to use ChatGPT properly. Now, some might say Gemini, some might say Claude. I don't really care. I'm not getting caught up in that. The bottom line is most people know ChatGPT as the kind of the brand for AI. So I'm just going to use that. But if you're a Gemini or Claude, it doesn't matter. It's the same thing. Use how to use ChatGPT properly. The second thing you need to do is you need to build your AI clone. And the third thing you need to do is you need to apply it to your life, your business, and your wealth. It's that simple. 3 simple steps, literally 3 simple steps. And if you can follow me tonight, I guarantee you that I will show you how you can learn ChatGPT, Gemini, or Claude properly. I will show you how you can build your AI clone, and I will show you how you can apply it to your life, to your business, and to your wealth. By doing that, I'm going to show you how you can give back 3 months of your time. 3 months of your time to yourself. What would you do with 3 months of your time? Would you go on holiday? Would you spend time with your family more? Would you travel? Would you donate money to a charity or time to a charity? Would you just work harder and make more money? What would you do if you got 3 months of your time back? What about if you had more fulfilling relationships, better communication, and a more fulfilling life with more clarity, knowing exactly what you should be doing with regards to your life, your purpose? What should you be focusing your time on? What about if you could 10x your business and increase your revenue, your EBITDA, your profit, whatever it is, scale your business, automate your business? And what about if you could create scalable wealth that could give you freedom? These are all the things that you will get if you follow the simple 3-step process on how to 10x your life. And a lot of people sit here and they say, yeah, but Scott, the AI bus has left the building. And the truth is that's nowhere close to the truth. Because if you look over here on this planet, there are 8.1 billion people. And so every dot here represents 3.2 billion people. And if you look at the gray dots, they've never touched AI. 6.8 billion people have nothing to do with AI. They've not been involved in AI at all. The next 1.3 billion have played with the likes of ChatGPT. They've literally played and tested something like ChatGPT, the free tools. 15 to 25 million, the little orange blocks down the bottom here, are using the paid tools. That's me and my business partners. And then finally, 2 to 5 million are using AI for coding and development. And again, that's my business partners. And that's the tiny little red dot over there. You see, the problem is that most people think that AI is creating funny images or essay writing or something along those lines. That's literally like Google. It's like right at the beginning. What is important is in business, in America, 82% of businesses are not using AI and only 4% are using it properly. Ladies and gentlemen, this is one of the greatest opportunities of your lifetime. And all you need to do is pay for one tool and get started. Use it daily, learn the basics, and you'll move ahead of virtually everyone else. And so you've got a choice because there are really two groups of people that are forming. The first group are people who don't need to learn how to use AI. They say it's too complicated. I don't know how to do it. They're feeling overwhelmed. They dabble a little bit in it. They open ChatGPT once or twice, but they never really figure out what to do with it. The second group of people, they're the people who learn how to use it. They learn how to think with it. They learn how to work with it. They learn how to create leverage with it. And those people are going faster, think better, create opportunities, and are at a completely different level. The challenges over the next few years, that gap between the two groups is going to become enormous. And tonight, my request to you is that you make sure that you're in that first group. You see, I've been watching trends my whole life. In 1998, I did my honors degree and my dissertation in how IT was going to change the property and construction industry. Yes, 1998, and I cum laude at that. In 2001, I did my master's degree in London on how technology was going to change the construction and property industry. In 2004, I launched a company using technology to help thousands of people buy houses back in South Africa. Then hundreds in England, hundreds in Australia, and hundreds in America. When crowdfunding was legalized in 2013 with the Jobs Act, we were one of the first to come into the market with Wealth Migrate. And this was our very first commercial opportunity in America. It was $16 million, 6 different buildings. There were 82 investors from 5 continents. We then went on to do that in America, England, Europe, Australia, and South Africa. And when you look at our results, we've helped people in 178 countries, facilitated $1.3 billion in investment, and distributed over $31 million in dividends, exits, and distributions. When crowdfunding started in China, we were the very first there. We were invited by the Chinese government to be part of the very first event and opened an office in China back in 2016. We attended Singularity University, both myself and my business partner, Yaku, which is the top exponential technology university in the world, and it's on the NASA campus. When blockchain came out in 2016, we were the very first real estate platform, property platform in the world to be on blockchain. And we even launched our own cryptocurrency in 2017. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been at the forefront of all of these trends. And I can safely say, with over 30 years experience, that AI is singly the biggest trend of our lifetime. You see, I'm not a generic AI trainer. I'm here as someone who's built businesses, spotted global trends, worked in technology for decades, and is now using AI in every single part of my life, my business, and my wealth. And I want to share it with you. So who would like to know my story? How did I get into AI? Would anyone like to know? Just type in the chat box, say yes or no, if you would like to know my story of how I got into the AI. So let's go back a couple of years. And there was a gentleman called Clem Sunter. So Clem Sunter is one of the top strategists in the world. He's worked at Harvard. He's worked with the Chinese government. He worked with Nelson Mandela to bring about democracy. And I watched him for years, and he would go out with all these scenarios. And I decided to look at his scenarios and to create a 4-dimensional model so that I could decide where in the world to invest. And so I did that. And he was so impressed by this model and the framework that I came up with that he actually endorsed a book. And he said he'll write the foreword to this book. He contributed chapters 4 and 5 in this book. And this book took me 18 months to write. So in 2013, this book came out. It took me 18 months to write this book. You fast forward 10 years, and it now is 2023, and I want to do a digital course. I want to do a digital upgrade. And that's when I first came across ChatGPT in early 2023. It took me 3 months to rebuild a digital course. Okay, 3 months. And we ended up making about $100,000. You fast forward another 2 years when I had my clones in place, my systems in place, and everything else. Guess how long in 2025 it took me to upgrade this course? Now, just to put it in perspective, it's got 6 modules, about 20 hours worth of learning material. It's got all the digital content and everything. How long do you think it took me in 2025? I remind you, in 2013, it took 18 months. In 2023, it took 3 months using ChatGPT, the early version. And in 2025, how long do you think it took me to do it in 2025? Just type in the chat box. I'm interested. What do people have to say? So I've got a week, 2 weeks, 1 day. So it was really interesting. It took me about 2 days. And again, when I do the digital upgrade again, it will take me probably 2 hours. This course made me $250,000 in 2025. And so I have a question for you. You see, most people sit in their comfort zone over here. But where the magic happens is if you step out of your comfort zone. And I'm only going to ask you one thing to do tonight. I'm going to ask you to commit to yourself, to step out of your comfort zone, to use technology to leverage so that you can 10x your life. You see, the question I've got for you is, what is the single best thing that AI is good at? So if you look at AI in general, what is AI good at? Type in the chat box for me. What is AI good at? Let me know. I'm very interested on your opinion as to what AI is good at, basically. Just want to get a pen while you're looking there. Okay, so I can see there, Maria's been listening. Pattern recognition, Thomas, finding patterns, learning, data assembly, interrogation, solving problems, automating tasks. Right, the answer is pattern recognition. The single thing that AI is best at is pattern recognition. Now, think about this. What are humans? What do humans do? Do they repeat patterns over and over again? Yes. What about financial markets, the stock market? Do you think they move in patterns? Yes. What do you think commodities and asset classes and oil and inflation and interest rates, do you think it moves in patterns? Yes. So the more data you got and the further you can research back, the better idea you've got on a pattern and the better you can help make decisions. And even if you look at yourself, do you follow patterns based on your childhood wounding, who you are, your Enneagram, whatever it is? You follow patterns. So the better that you understand yourself and the patterns of your past, the better you can either change your patterns moving forward or you can use your patterns to make better decisions. Make sense? This was the game-changing moment for me when it came to AI. Because when I finally understood that, I realized that I could go back and I could build my clones. So I went and took my psychology sessions and uploaded them. I took all the information that I have, my book, all my courses, everything. Now, if you don't have any of that, no problem. But today is the first day of the rest of your life. If you spend another day not uploading and including and giving the information, then you're not going to have the pattern recognition. And the key here is the more data you can put in, the better it can spot the patterns and the better it can help you get the results. So I use this both in my personal life, in my relationships, and my relationship with my son, in my business life with my teams, so that I can use and have better relationships and communication. I use this in my wealth decisions because all of us have a wealth pattern or a money story that will help you make better investment decisions. The better you can understand your patterns, the better you can make far better decisions moving forward. But you see, the problem that most people have with AI is that they're not using it properly. They open ChatGPT, they type something, they get a weird answer, and they think, okay, that was interesting, but does this actually work? I mean, has anyone else got that experience? You see, you open an AI tool, you stare at a screen, and you think, well, what am I actually supposed to do with this? And you see, this is the problem that most people are having. Not because AI isn't powerful, it's because they don't have a system. You see, the real problem I noticed when I started doing this myself and when I started talking to other people about this, most people had the exact same experience. They're very frustrated. They're saying things like, I've tried ChatGPT, but I don't even know what to ask it. Or I feel like everyone else is using AI and is better than me. Or there's so many tools, I don't even know where to start. I know most people can resonate with that. That was me. It felt completely overwhelming. But you see, the truth is that frustration makes common sense because most people are going about the whole AI thing completely in the wrong way. They think it's about learning the tools. It's not. It's about building a system. Now, let me give you a metaphor on a way to understand that. When I jump in my car, I don't really care how my car works. I just need to be able to get from A to B safely and simply. That's the system. When I understand how I can drive the car to get from A to B to get my outcome, my result, that's simple. I don't need to know how the brakes work and the engine work and the wheels work. I don't need to know that. I don't need to know all the different components. I just need to know how to use the system to get the result. You see, the opportunity here is not about technology. It's about leverage. Most people are out there, not using AI or before AI, and they things that take hours, weeks, and months to do. But now with AI, you can literally do it in minutes. So what could you do to completely leverage what you're doing in your life? You see, the goal is not to use AI. And this is the breakthrough that I'd like you to get tonight. The goal is to use your AI clone. Your clone becomes your digital thinking partner. It understands your ideas, your philosophy, your business, your thinking patterns. It'll help you plan your day, prepare conversations, write faster, organize ideas, research opportunities, structure business decisions. It'll even help you think about your wealth strategy. In other words, your clone becomes the leverage for your life. And once that happens, everything starts to accelerate. That is the most important key insight that I'm trying to give you. Now, to give you another metaphor, the challenge with most people, imagine you're walking down a street and you just walk up to a rank stranger and you say, hi, stranger, please tell me what are the 3 things that I should be doing in my life right now in the next 30 days to 10x my life. And the stranger is going to look at you and go, I don't know who you are. But I'll tell you what, let me try and help. And they're just going to give you generic advice. That's how most of you are using ChatGPT or Gemini or Claude. It's got no idea who you are. So all it does is it gives you generic advice. But what about a different scenario? What about if you walk down that street, and let me just stop sharing here so you can see me properly. What about if you walk down that street and you now stop and there's this person there that is a life coach, a business coach, a wealth coach. And by the way, they know you personally. Your mother and father are there and your best friend. And they're all standing together. And they know you very well. And you ask the same question. Hey, team, I would like to know how to 10x my life and what I need to focus on in the next 30 days. Can you agree that because they know you personally, they are going to give you far better advice based on who you are? What is good for you? What are some of your weaknesses? What are your aspirations? What are your goals? Everything about you, they know. So they're not going to give you generic advice. They're going to give you personalized advice. Can you understand the power in having a personalized clone to assist you with that decision? So do me a favor, just type in the chat box for me if that makes sense to you, because that is the key insight I'm trying to get across. 99.9% of you are using ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, whatever else, even Google for that matter, and you're getting generic answers. But if you build your clone, then you're going to get personalized advice and you can get some of the best advice for you specifically to help you make far better decisions. And that's my wish for you. That's my insight. So tonight I want to do 3 things for you. I want to show you how AI can transform your life. I then want to show you how it can accelerate your business. And I want to show you how it can help you think more clearly about your wealth. Because when those 3 things come together, your life, your business, and your wealth, you don't just create success, you create freedom. And by the end of this talk, you will understand exactly how to build an AI clone so that you can start using it to 10x your life, your business, and your wealth. So what does an AI clone actually do? What can it help you with? Well, it can help you save time, think, plan, write, research. It can help you optimize your relationships. It can organize complicated information. It can help you make better decisions. It can help you with structure and strategy for your business so that you can 10x, and it'll help you scale your wealth in terms of that process. Now, let's look at the multiplication impact. Because how many of you feel like you're on the treadmill and life's hard? You're hustling, trying to do everything. You see, without AI, you're in the 1x environment. With AI, you can actually move into the 5 to 10x productivity. I'll give you a good example. In 2022, I had a marketing team. They cost me $40,000 a month, and there were 5 people. And if I wanted to write an email, I had to think of the idea, I had to write it down. I then sent it off to my copywriter, who then sent it to another whole bunch of people. And about 2 weeks later, that email would come out of the system, and they'd write the email, and it would send. And quite often it was wrong as well. But like what I actually wrote and what they came back with was wrong. Nowadays, I do everything myself. It's all set up on AI. It's all done raw. So between us and our team, we've all specialized in using AI to get the outcomes. It still speaks in our language. It understands our business. It talks in how we do stuff. But it saves us $40,000 a month. And more importantly, we can execute in a fraction of the time. That is the multiplication impact. That is how you use leverage to get huge success, and you walk away from hard work. Sound good? So let's look at how the transformation can change your life, your business, and your wealth. You see, once I started AI and started using it properly, I started noticing patterns. At first, it helped me think more clearly. Then it started helping me move faster in my business. And then something unexpected happened. I realized it was helping me make better decisions around my wealth and long-term thinking. When I started to look at this very simple framework, I started to form what could AI actually do to create the most leverage? And that's where the truth came in. AI can do a lot of things, but there's actually only 3 things where it is going to dramatically impact your life. Not 50, not 10, just 3. And when I understood that these 3 areas, AI stopped feeling confusing and it started to feel incredibly simple. Because the biggest impact that AI is going to have is in your life, in your business, and in your wealth. Because when you improve your life, you increase your clarity and your energy. When you improve your business, you gain leverage and income. And when you improve your wealth, you gain freedom. And when those 3 things come together, everything accelerates. So what I want to do with you is share with you our exact framework on how to build your AI clone. We call it our wealth accelerator so that you can apply it across your life, your business, and your wealth. Let's get right into it. So the first part is AI life. This is how you build your clone for your life. Now let's start with the most important area, which is your life. Because if your life is chaotic, your business suffers. If your thinking is unclear, your decisions suffer. If your energy is scattered, everything becomes harder. One of the biggest surprises I discovered with AI wasn't just how powerful it was for organizing your thinking, not just your work, but your life. You see, the reality that most people live in is that they think all day long. They start their day with literally notifications. How many of you wake up in the morning before you even get out of bed, you're looking at your phone? Emails, WhatsApp messages, meetings, pressure. And before they even think clearly, they're already reacting to everyone else's agenda, instead of consciously designing their own life. You see, it's exhausting. But with an AI clone, you start to build your life properly, and something becomes very powerful. It becomes your thinking partner. It becomes a partner that can help you clarify your ideas, organize your priorities, prepare your conversations, structure your decisions, and suddenly something interesting happens. Instead of reacting to your life, you start designing it. What about your daily clarity? One of the first things I started with doing with AI at the beginning of my day was I would ask my AI clone, help me structure my day, not just my tasks, but my priorities, my energy, my focus. And what used to feel like chaos suddenly felt organized. What about difficult conversations? How many of you are like me and struggle to have difficult conversations? Well, I find it incredibly powerful for communication. How many times have you had a difficult conversation coming up with a colleague, a client, a family member, and you're not quite sure how to approach it? With your AI clone, it can help you prepare. It can help you structure your thoughts. It can clarify what matters. And suddenly you show up more calm, more clear, more confident, and you can achieve the outcome that you're looking for. How many of you think about your habits and your behavior? What about another powerful use is your behavior? AI can help you design your habits, improve your routines, structure your reflection. It becomes a place where you can think about, who am I becoming? What habits support that? What decisions move my life forward? You see, the real result here is your life becomes more intentional, more structured, more focused, because clarity creates confidence, and confidence creates momentum, and momentum creates results. You know, I read this book, where's it gone now? Called 10x is easier than 2x. And like all these other books behind me, most people just read books but never actually implement it. I took the 10 principles of this book, I programmed it into my AI clone. It helped me design what my 10x identity was. And let me stop showing so you can see my hands here. Because what I realized was I kept going for 10x goals, but I was behaving like a 1x or a 2x person. And the only way to get 10x goals is to increase your identity to a 10x person. And you need to align your 10x identity with your 10x values, with your 10x behavior. And so I use AI and my AI life clone to make sure that all three of those are in alignment and that my daily behavior is taking place. So let me give you an example. Now, again, when you do the ChatGPT crash course, I will teach you how to build a prompt. But you generally start with, what are you acting as? So in this case, I want you to act as a personal thinking partner. The next thing, what is the task? Help me organize the 3 most important priorities in my life over the next 90 days, 30 days. Then what is one command? So, and you need to tell it how you want the information. Ask me any questions you need, then help me turn those priorities into a simple action plan. Make sure you ask one question at a time. So, you might want to screenshot that. It's a great way to get started. But I remind you, if you haven't built your AI clone, then you're just going to be asking a stranger in the street. Let me help you build an AI clone. And again, that's why you come on the Wealth Accelerator, so I can show you how to do that, so that you can literally have the likes of Tony Robbins in your corner to help you make the best decisions for your life in terms of that process. This is where it becomes a game changer in changing your life. Let's go on to your business. So we've spoken about the first area of leverage, your life, clarity, focus, better decisions. But the second level is where things start to get really exciting. Your business. This is where things start to accelerate. Because when you run a company, manage investments, build projects, or create ideas, one thing determines your success, your speed of execution and how much value you can create. You see, the faster you think clearly, create ideas, structure plans, communicate them, and add value, the faster your business will grow. And again, whether you're a business owner or employee, same principle. You see, the old way of thinking was that people used to go out and they would sit down and they would start to create something, a proposal, a presentation, a strategy, a new offer. And sometimes they'd stare at their screen for hours, trying to organize their thoughts, trying to structure ideas, trying to get momentum. And sometimes this process could take days or weeks or even months. Maybe they have a team meeting or a strategy session or a think tank. But with AI, now they can do it completely different. Imagine sitting down with your AI clone, a system that understands your philosophy, your business, your ideas, your thinking pattern. And instead of starting from zero, you start from momentum. You start from structure. You start from clarity. And suddenly your ideas are creating and moving far faster. You might want to be better at sales and marketing. So you go out and you use your AI to design your offers. Instead of spending weeks thinking about positioning, I collaborate with my AI clone to explore ideas, test structures, refine messaging, and suddenly something that used to take weeks can take hours. What about content and communication? Another powerful tool: emails, posts, articles, presentations. It doesn't replace your voice. In fact, it amplifies it. It helps you organize your thinking. It helps you communicate more clearly, and it creates enormous leverage. What about systems and execution? Again, in this book, 10X, one of the most important things was to bring in systems. There's a reason McDonald's is one of the most successful businesses in the world. AI can help you with those systems. It can build your standard operating procedures. It can do your planning framework, your business process. And instead of building everything from scratch, you now have a thinking partner that accelerates the process. And this is where the real business starts to feel different. You see, the real result is that it becomes simple. You spend less time stuck. You're moving a lot faster, and you have less time organizing the chaos, because business success ultimately comes down to momentum and adding value. And AI dramatically increases your momentum. And so what becomes really, really interesting here is the second level of leverage is business. And AI helps you move faster, create more, and execute better. I'll give you an example of a prompt. Act as my business strategist. I help people grow their life, business, and wealth. Help me create a compelling offer, headline, promise, and 3-step customer journey for a program called wealthaccelerator.ai. Make it clear, high value, and easy to sell. Ladies and gentlemen, everything you're seeing tonight is built in AI. Everything I do is built in AI. Just in the last 48 hours, I've designed an entire operating system for Wealth Migrate and an entire remuneration model, taking over 10 years worth of information and results, taking all of the feedback from board members and all of the people that are involved, and turning them into a proposal. This is truly a game changer. Yes?
On the presentation, you just need to open the slides. We're seeing your script.
Oh, is that the right one?
Yeah. Yes.
Sorry. And what happened there? It just swapped over. So what I was just saying around the business is that this enhances and leverages your business like you have no idea. I don't want to go into too much detail tonight, but if I just come to this, and one of the things I'm going to teach you how to do is how to build prompts. And so if you go into my clone here, and you can see here my prompt template, and this is exactly how to create prompts. So I will teach you how to do this, but I've got a whole bunch of prompts here where you can go through and you can see all the different prompts in terms of, every time I'm building a prompt. So resolving, diagnosing investment decisions, et cetera, et cetera. But I want to show you literally last night. I created a prompt last night to do this remuneration model. And I said, think like Richard Branson. So act like a world-class founder, remuneration strategist, governance architect, combining 3 lenses: Richard Branson for culture, loyalty, Jeff Bezos for long-term value creation, and Elon Musk for first principles. Like in the old days, you had to go and pay these people, or you could never even get access to them. Now, I will teach you how to build a prompt where you can have Richard Branson in your pocket. So in your life, you can have Tony Robbins as your life coach. In business, you can have Richard Branson and Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos. And now let's go to your wealth. Imagine having a family office in your pocket. What about if every time you had a question about your wealth, you stopped guessing, and instead of Googling and asking random people online, or even your financial planner, you started to ask your AI wealth strategist? You see, this is exactly what we've designed to do, because the most important thing is that tools don't create wealth. Strategy does. And that's why we built the Wealth Accelerator, because it's not just a tool, it's part of something much bigger. The question I have for you, what do you think wealthy people do? Do they do it all alone? Most successful people, most people are working hard, but they never get to freedom. They never get their money to work hard for them. And the reason being is that there's too many decisions. It's too difficult. They don't know how to make the right decisions. They don't have clarity. Do you invest in this country or this asset or this currency? But if you take a family office, now a family office look after the wealthiest people in the world. They look after that family's tax and structuring. What are their assets? How do they protect those assets? How do they optimize and grow those assets? How do they diversify strategically? How do they build legacy? How do they build generational wealth? Imagine having your own family office in your pocket. It knows exactly who you are. It knows what your money story is. It knows what your Enneagram and wealth is and your wealth EQ, which, by the way, will explain the mistakes you've made in the past so that you can understand the patterns. It'll tell you what are the right assets for you to invest in and what is the right investment strategy. Imagine having your own family office sitting in your pocket in terms of that process. So, sound good? Imagine being able to ask a prompt. Act as my wealth thinking partner. Help me think through the key questions I should ask before making an investment decision. Organize the answer around risk, return, time horizon, diversification, and how this fits my bigger long-term wealth plan. Ladies and gentlemen, you're not going the traditional route of a financial planner and being put in a box. You're being given a personalized plan based on exactly who you are, taking into account your human-centric side and giving you a strategic plan based on the best principles of a family office. Now, the family office partner that we've partnered with here manages the wealth of $1 billion for 65 families. Why can they not be assisting you? So I believe you've got two futures. The first is a future without AI. And in this future, people at best are going to continue to 1x or 2x. They're going to feel overwhelmed, behind, slow in execution, and missed opportunities. And the second is where they use AI, they build a clone. They are the ones that are going to 10x because they have clearer thinking, faster execution, more leverage, and better wealth decisions. The difference between these two futures is not intelligence. It's whether you build a system. And so we built a system. We literally built you a bridge so that you could build yourself a better future. Who would like to know a little bit more around why and how we created the Wealth Accelerator so that you could 10x your life, your business, and your wealth? Do me a favor, type in the chat room there if you'd like to understand how the Wealth Accelerator actually works in terms of this process. So it all started out where I personally in the beginning was a dabbler, and I was trying around, I was dabbling and I was playing with it like I'm using Google. And then I finally learned about how to build a clone. I was given a system. And once I built a clone, my life just took off, like literally took off like a space rocket. And so my business coach actually sat with me and she was like, Scott, you have to share this with the world. Between yourself and your partners, you are using AI extensively and you have to share it with your partners and your community so they too can get those results. So we designed a program to help people build their own AI operating system in 90 days. Think of it like your computer. It has an operating system. We're going to help you build your AI operating system in 90 days. There's literally 3 phases. You're going to have a weekly call. We're going to basically help you build it. This is not a course. You're going to build it. You're going to get the prompts. You're going to get the worksheets. You're going to, during office hours, we're there to support. We're going to have a community and you're going to have a vault. What are you going to get in terms of the module? Well, the first module is AI Live. That is where you're going to build your AI clone. This is where everything begins. You'll learn how to build your personal AI clone. We're going to help you learn how to create powerful prompts. We're going to organize your thinking. We're going to improve your communication. We're going to improve your design habits and help you design better habits. And we're going to create clarity in your daily life. This is the foundation. Remember, any tall building is built on a solid foundation. Then we move to module 2, and this is your AI business. Once your clone exists, we're going to help you adapt it and apply it to your business. We're going to teach you how to build offers, content, email, marketing, systems, strategy, productivity. The goal is simple. We want to help you automate and scale so that you can move faster with less friction. And then we move to module 3, which is about your wealth. This is how we're going to use AI to organize your financial thinking, research opportunities, structure decisions, understand diversification, and think strategically long-term about your wealth. Now, what's important here is that between myself and my partners, we're going to help you build the system. But we're also going to bring in selected experts to strengthen the journey. As an example, in the life module, we'll bring in an expert on health. We'll bring in an expert on relationships to enhance the life module. In the business module, we're going to bring in an expert on automation so that you can learn how to automate your business and how you can actually scale your business using automation. And in the wealth, we'll be bringing in the family office to show you the wealth principles that underlie the fundamentals so that you truly can do it. And just by the way, anyone that's part of our mastermind that is watching, you've already got all the building blocks in place. So you can enhance and leverage this more than anyone else in our community. So what is the value? Well, I promised you that I would help you save at least 3 months a year. If you take just 10 hours a week, which is what we will basically at a minimum will help you save in time, that is 3 months a year. And depending on what you earn, that's anywhere from $26,000 to $52,000 a year, literally of value to you. What about a fulfilling life and clarity? People go on coaching programs, they have life coaches, business coaches, join masterminds, they go on retreats. At the end of the day, if you have better clarity and have better relationships, people are going to pay $5,000 or more just to have a fulfilling life. What about business? If you're a small business, $100,000 turnover, and you just have a 20% uplift, that's going to be worth $20,000 a year to you in terms of your business improvement. And by the way, that's only a 20% improvement. Imagine if you could 10x, what your business can do. And then finally, your wealth upside. Now, some people turn to me and they say, yeah, but Scott, if I got $100,000 and I get a 2% increase, it's only $2,000 a year. You're right. But what's fascinating is over 25 to 30 years, the difference of 2% is the difference between at 85 running out of money and being financially trapped, and at the age of 99 passing away and leaving your children $7.6 million. So running out of money at 85 or handing over $7.6 million to your children. That's the difference between 2%. And if you bring that all together, every single year, your AI clone is going to deliver value to you of somewhere from $53,000 to $79,000 of practical value. And the best part is, for an absolutely minuscule investment, you can invest in yourself and you can create a lifetime of return on investment. So who would like to know what it'll take to invest in this program and to build your AI? Would you like to understand what the investment will be for yourself? Now, just type in the chat box if you'd like me to explain it, because this is the value that we want to give to people. I know this is the value it's created in my life, and I want to be able to share that value with you. However, I have learned that when people pay, they pay attention. So we decided very consciously to not make this super expensive. We wanted to make it affordable so that everyone could participate. However, we also want 100 people that are committed to come on this journey so that we can pay them personal attention. So we decided that fair value for people to truly leverage their lives was an investment of $997. Today, if you want to join the wealthaccelerator.ai and invest $997, it'll be a minuscule investment today, but it'll be a life-changing return on investment for the rest of your life. And Shanique, if you wouldn't mind just chucking the link in there for everyone, I would appreciate it. So let me remind you of everything that you're going to get as part of the Wealth Accelerator. I remind you this is over $12,000 worth of value that you can invest in from as little as $997. And by the way, I'm going to share with you at the end how you could even get started with $397. So firstly, you're going to get access to ChatGPT 101 Fast Track Crash Course. That is going to take you from wherever you are in the stage of AI. Most people are in the beginner stage. They don't know what they don't know. And we're going to turn you into a power user. It'll take me less than 3 hours. Okay, I'm running a session next Monday, 27th of April. I will take you from a beginner, and again, most people are in the beginner stage, and whether you're in ChatGPT or Gemini or Claude, it doesn't matter. I'll take you from there to a power user. The next, you're going to get live weekly sessions. So there's going to be 3 phases. The month of May is life. The month of June is business. And the month of July is wealth. There'll be 1 session per week. It'll last for 60 to 90 minutes, where we will literally teach you live and we will help you build your prompt. This is not a learning course. This is a doing course in terms of the process. There'll be expert guided sessions. So every alternate Tuesday, we will bring in an expert on things like I told you, relationships, health, scaling, automation, wealth, etc. There'll be prompt packs and templates. So we're going to give you a whole bunch of prompt packs and templates, but more importantly, I'm going to teach you how to build your own prompts. I think one of the greatest gifts that I've been given is learning how to build prompts. The stuff that I'm creating in AI now, I don't want to be arrogant, but it truly is incredible. My board today, just today, my board told me that the remuneration proposal I put together was world-class. And I said, interesting, because I built it last night in ChatGPT. It's because I know how to build prompts. And I already showed you with Richard Branson and Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk. I'll show you the worksheets and the implementation tools. So we have an entire set of tools to help you build. Remember, this is not about a bunch of tools. This is about a system. All of these pieces come together to give you a system. We'll give you the recordings and the replay. So when I build my clone, one of the things I enjoyed, and the reason we do it once a week, is it allows people the time to do it. But if you get behind or something, you can just watch the recording. Or if you didn't understand something, you just watch the recording, and then you can do it again. It works really well to do 1 activity per week. You're going to have community and accountability. So there's going to be 100 other founding members where you're going to be coming on this journey together. And together, we're going to 10x our lives. That's our outcome, to 10x our lives. We've got the 10x Command Center. So you're going to get 12-month access to the 10x Command Center. And if you want to afterwards in the FAQ, I can show you the Command Center. It is so powerful. It's got the AI life, the AI business, the AI wealth. It's got a leverage tracker, so you can actually see how much time you're saving and what's happening in your business and in your wealth. It's got the blueprint vault. It truly is. It's got a habit tracker. It is such a powerful tool that you're going to have access to in our 10x Command Center. You're going to have the starter prompt pack for your life, your business, and your wealth. I'm not interested in people getting caught up in overwhelm. Let's get you going. Let's, in literally minutes or hours, start getting you results. That's the intention. You're going to have the AI wealth strategist. Again, the family office sitting in your pocket with personalized advice for you. You're going to have the global wealth framework, and you're going to have the 14-day money-back guarantee. We know the value that we're delivering, and we know that it's going to have a dramatic impact in people's lives. So it's over $12,000 worth of value. You literally get access to it for $997. And the question you should be asking yourself is this a training? And the answer is no. It's a system. You're going to build your AI clone. We're going to help you build a thinking partner that you can continue to use forever. The question you should be asking yourself is why now? You see, my challenge is that this is not an open-ended program. We're taking just the first 100 founding members because I want to make this first intake to be real, to have real access, real interaction, and real support so we can build this live together. Once we begin, the registration is actually going to close. And so if you want to be the sharpest, highest converting version, because again, you're literally going to be working with me and my partners one-to-one to be able to, and as a group, to get you the results. We're looking for 100 people to come on this journey. But once we begin, the registration closes. I want to share with you something that I believe very, very strongly. The world is accelerating so fast in this AI thing. Think of it like a bus. The bus is leaving the station. Now, whether you want to think of it like a bus, a train, or an airplane, the engines are warming up. And if you've ever been in London, you know it's like you're running towards the train. It's going, beep, 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 and the doors are closing. Every single day that you do not get on this AI bus, train, or plane, you are going to be left behind. I'm not here to scaremonger. I'm here to try and give you insight. You know, Napoleon said, one of the greatest generals ever, he said, The right information is 9/10 of any battle. I'm trying to give you the right information. Ladies and gentlemen, you cannot catch me. I started this game 3 years ago. And as long as I continue to keep up, you will never catch me. But I tell you what, if you wait another day, another week, another month, or another year, it's going to get harder and harder and harder. My invitation to you, don't feel scared. Don't feel overwhelmed. Get started. And that's why we made it so simple for you. It's really, really easy. All you do is you go to the wealthaccelerator.ai, and there's 3 simple steps. You come on the ChatGPT crash course, whether it's ChatGPT or Gemini or Claude, we will teach you how to become a power user. We then help you build your clone, and then we help you implement it in your life, in your business, and in your wealth. It's that simple. So let's go to the fast action bonus, because for a group of members, one of the biggest reasons and one of the biggest things that people feel is they're not sure if they're ready. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to help you. If you literally join us tonight, I'm going to help you with our founding fast start bonus. What does that actually mean? You're going to get the VIP priority. So this is what we do with our mastermind members and our 10X elites. We give them priority so that they can make sure that they set up properly. It's all about your foundation. And I want you to be one of those founding members that are going to be part of that fast start, one of those VIP members. But you have to sign up tonight. Because why do we do that? Action takers. We like to work with action takers. I like getting results. And I know that I know how I get results. It's because I take action. So I want to work with action takers. And what I think is really, really important is that in this program, we're going to help you get set up so that you can use ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, whatever, properly. You can get your first project organized. You can install your first prompts, and you make sure you arrive to move to the next thing, which is to build your clone. So AI is evolving so fast that I want to make it a special pricing and a priority access for you. And literally, if you sign up tonight, you're going to get access to that VIP priority setup. The next thing is you're going to get our first clone Kickstart pack. So this is all going to be part of the 10X Command Center. And it's going to give you the setup checklist, the starter prompts, and the structure so that you can build your first clone. We're here to hold your hand. This is not about overwhelm. This is just about a system. We're going to help you price protection. So founding member price protection. It reminds me of a story. I did my first webinar back in 2008, and I signed up with GoToWebinar, and I got what's called a grandfathered in. So the price, whatever I paid then, the price stayed the same. So if you join as one of the founding members, every year, AI is just going to get better and better and better. And I guarantee you that you're going to want to come back every year to learn about the new tools and to keep enhancing. If you sign up as a founding member now, you will have price protection. Whatever you pay today will be the same price for the rest of your life. That's my commitment to you. So think of the value for that over the years to come. And finally, you're going to arrive ready. You're going to build faster, and you're going to stay ahead. If you join tonight, you're going to join with the first 100 people. And those 100 people are going to get this VIP priority setup. They're going to get the first clone Kickstart pack, and they're going to get the founding member price protection. If that's what you want, and if that sounds good, then I would seriously consider these 3 simple steps. I remind you, learn ChatGPT, again, Gemini, Claude, whatever, properly. And we created a crash course for you so that you can literally do that. Build your AI clone. That's exactly what the Wealth Accelerator is all about, .ai. And finally, apply it to your life, to your business, and to your wealth. It's all about 10xing your life. And if you want to do that, you literally go to the link, www.wealthaccelerator.ai. You see, tonight is not about whether AI matters. You already know that it does. The real question is whether you're going to keep dabbling or whether you're going to build a system. You see, the Wealth Accelerator is a 90-day live implementation sprint. In month 1, we're going to help you build your personal AI clone. In month 2, you're going to build your business AI clone. And in month 3, you're going to build your wealth AI clone. You're going to start by getting your ChatGPT 101 crash course. Become a power user. You're going to get weekly live build session, prompts, templates, expert sessions, replays, community, the 10X Command Center, and the 14-day guarantee. The investment is $997, or you can do 3 part payments of $397. We are taking the first 100 people to come on this program. And once it starts, the registration closes. For the first 25 that actually join the VIP program, they're also going to get the priority AI setup review so that you can see and make sure that your ChatGPT, your Claude, or your Gemini is set up properly with your first projects, your first inputs, and configured correctly so that the sprint can accelerate. If you want to stop dabbling and you want to start building AI edge properly, then you need to go to the wealthaccelerator.ai to secure a place. So just to show you here quickly, if I click on the link, you can go down here, you can literally go, give me my clone, and it's got the details. You can put in your name, your details, you can do the once-off investment. That's, by the way, what the majority of people do. They commit, they understand that you've got your life, your business, and your wealth, and they build on top of each other, and they commit. However, if you want to do a payment plan, we've made it affordable for people. You can do the payment plan per month of the $397. And if you say, nope, I just want to do the life course and build my clone then I can do that. If you want to go through this, you can literally see here. So I'm ready to build my ChatGPT AI clone and 10x everything. If you want to go read all about it, you can go read all about it. You can see all the details that are here. You can see what you're going to get out of it, how the modules actually work, etc., who I am. You've got the different paths, and you can go and read all about it. So it's all here. There's an FAQ and everything else. That's just wealthaccelerator.ai. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to leave you with a little gift. So who would like to know a trick that I learned from my business coach? So this lady is a highly, highly successful person. And she said to me that, she's worked with some of the most successful people from all over the world. And she said, Scott, I want to teach you a little trick. And so I asked her, I said, well, what is that trick? And she said to me, well, Scott, she learned a principle in this book, the 10X book, and they call it the 4 C's. And whenever you want to do something big in your life, so something where you step out of your comfort zone, the first thing is you need to make a commitment. Nothing happens until you commit. Now, to make a commitment, you need courage because it's new and it's scary. You need courage to make a commitment. You don't have to have the capability. You don't have to know how AI works. And you don't have to have the confidence. That will come with time. But what you do have to have is the commitment. And so she taught me, and she said, what do the wealthiest and most successful people do in the world? Who would like me to share with you what they do? Anyone want to know a little trick that they do to be successful? So Maria said yes. Marcus said yes. Okay, so play a little game with me. This is exactly how she taught it to me. The cleverest people make a decision like this. 5, 4, got to get my fingers right. 3, 2, 1, decide. I don't need to give you more information tonight. Your intuition knows what you need to do. Your gut knows what you need to do. And if you truly want to 10x your life, if you know that AI is the future and that you need to have a system to implement AI and that it can help 10x your life, then the Wealth Accelerator has been built for you. I remind you that at the Wealth Accelerator, it's $997 all in, or you can pay $397 and literally have a risk-free start. And I remind you of everything you get. You get AI life so that you can have a more fulfilling life. You get AI business so you can 10x your income. And you get AI wealth so that you can build scalable wealth and ultimately freedom. You get the 3 modules and the 3 clones, and you get the 10x principles and the frameworks all interweaved. And as a bonus, you get the ChatGPT 101 Startup Crash Course, which is ultimately where you become a power user. You get the 10x Wealth Accelerator Vault, so that's our 10x command center and prompt library, and you get the coaching and the accountability. So I saw there were a number of questions that have come through. I would like to answer just a couple of the ones that I get asked all the time, and then I'll come back to the chat room. The first question is, how technical do I need to be? So here's an example. I'm going to give you a gift. So you must watch out for your emails, and I'm going to give you this gift here. and it's called the AI Wealth Playbook. So this is where you start to use AI to truly enhance your life when it comes to your wealth. And I explain here the old way, the new way, and then we go down to thinking like a family office. And I've actually given you prompts. So it's called the family office prompt, the diversification prompt, et cetera, et cetera. But I just want to show you how simple this is. So if you want to take this prompt, you literally go here and you go copy, and then you go to ChatGPT and you start a new chat and you go paste. And if you can do that, if you can cut, copy, and paste, then you can truly do this program. That's how simple it actually is. What about how much time will this take? I would say budget on 60 to 90 minutes per week, because that's how much the learning lesson will be, or the implementation lesson will be. This is not about overwhelm in terms of time. This is about short, quick execution and results. I just want to do one of the 3 modules. Look, if that's the case, then start with life. Remember that business is going to build on top of life, and then wealth is going to build on top of business. And so if you're wanting to do business or wealth, then you have to do life, because it's like building a building. But if you just want to do one, then start with life in terms of that process. There are lots of courses on AI. Why, you guys? This is critical. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of courses on Facebook and Instagram and everywhere else on AI. The difference with us is that I've brought together partners that have substantial track record. In the life space, I'm an internationally certified coach. I've been doing personal development for 30 years. I've worked with the best in the world, from Richard Branson to Tony Robbins. My partners are coming in. They're Enneagram specialists. They're relationship specialists. You've got real substance in the life space. In the business space, the partners we're bringing to the table have built businesses, many, many businesses in the tens of millions of dollars and some in the hundreds of millions of dollars. You're dealing with people with significant business experience. And then in the wealth space, we've partnered with our family office that manages $1 billion for the wealthiest people in the world. The difference we bring to the table is using the latest of AI technology, but with the substance of life, business, and wealth. And by the way, I'm yet to see anything online where they marry together life, business, and wealth, because they are the 3 most important things that, when they come together, can accelerate your life and truly give you the freedom that you want. What happens if I miss a session? No problem. No matter what time zone you're in, we'll record all the sessions. You'll be able to go to the 10X Command Center. You just watch the replay. In fact, I actually quite like the replay, because sometimes you can watch it in 2X speed. You can just get it quickly if you understand it, and you can implement it. Scott, how safe is it to upload one's personal information? I understand the enrichers of a clone, but what about cybersecurity, vulnerability? I will teach you. So in the ChatGPT 101 crash course, Gemini, Claude, same thing, I will teach you how to set up the privacy settings. You can completely set them up to protect yourself. May I share this course with my son? Completely. Obviously, share it with anyone you think it'll add value to. But what is important here is that each of you need to build your own personalized clone, because obviously it's you, and so it can answer better questions for you. Do we need paid AI? No, you don't. So you can start with free AI, free ChatGPT, whatever. By the end, I virtually guarantee you'll want to pay the $20. It's the best $20 you'll ever spend, trust me. I work in corporate. Does AI business module apply to me? I did answer that up front. The simple answer is yes. Whether you're an employee in corporate, whether you're a business owner, whether you're an entrepreneur, every single person on this planet needs to understand how AI is working. And we're going to help you implement it in your own life. Every single one of us has a life. We're going to help you in your business, so however you generate income, and we're going to help you in your wealth, which is ultimately how you create scalable wealth, passive income, and freedom. So let's go and see if there's any other questions. I saw there were a number of questions that came through here. Let me just see quickly what we're dealing with. Marcus, awesome. I look forward to seeing you on the journey. As you know, I'm already on the inside. Maria, yes, Maria. What time is the launch on Monday? Jao, we'll be doing the ChatGPT crash course at 5 p.m. SAST. So it is a public holiday in South Africa. So it'll be in the evening so that people can have their public holiday. What time will the weekly webinar be? And that the intention is to be on Wednesday at 1 p.m. SAST. So that allows people in England or Europe or South Africa to do it during their lunch hour. It allows people in America to wake up early and still be able to participate, and it allows people in Australia and New Zealand to be able to participate before they go to sleep. If we're part of the 10X group, the price is the same. Alejandro, I'll let Shanika reach out to you in terms of that. For the fully paid members in the 10X group, we do have a discount. But yeah, let's you and I and Shanika can solve that. But I'm glad you're online, and I know you and I talk one-to-one in the coaching. I cannot emphasize how important it is to get AI working in your life, in your business, and in your wealth. And that's why we put this wealth accelerator together, so that everyone can basically do it. There's no point in talking about it. We've built a system to help people. And again, you say, why do I want this? Well, if you want to save 3 months of the year, then that's what it's going to give you. If you want business success and you can 10x your business, whatever it is you're looking to do in your business, if you want to build scalable wealth and ultimately freedom, and finally, if you want a fulfilling life, that's what it's all been brought together to be able to do. Shanika, quickly, any questions that I've missed anywhere through? Sorry, I just want to go back and see if there's any questions that I missed.
Hi, Scott. In the everyone chat box, there isn't any that you've missed. I can't see host and panelists, but
Let me just see. There's a Q&A here. Let me just see quickly. Is there a cost for the AI crash course on Monday? Yeah. So just to be clear, the AI crash course is for the people that join the Wealth Accelerator in terms of that process. So, well, that's the intention. So because we want to be able to work with people and give attention. It's about personalization. Okay. Anything else from anyone else? I would be interested if you could finish with a little game for me. So before I end off, there's 3 things I want to say. The first is that I want to thank you for your time. It's always a privilege and an honor to share what is happening in the AI space and what we're doing. And if you think this is of value to others, I'm doing one more presentation next Wednesday, and please invite them to that. So you literally can give them this link. I don't know, Shanika, if you've got the link and you can put it in the chat room, but it's this link here with Wednesday the 29th. I'll just put it in the chat room for everyone. So if people want to go and if you want to tell people about it, because I think that ChatGPT, as Alex Hormozi said, AI should be your number 1 priority, should be your number 2 priority, should be your number 3 priority, should be your number 10 priority. It should be your priority in terms of this entire process. So that's my first point, if you want to share it with others. The second is that, ladies and gentlemen, I've had the privilege of over 30 years now of doing business. I don't want to be arrogant, but I've managed to notice these trends and be ahead of the trend and to optimize and to create wealth out of trends. And my invitation is for you to join this bus. This AI thing, I watched it in the beginning. I wasn't 100% sure. Since 2015, when I was at Singularity University, they were talking about the power of AI. But the acceleration that I've seen in the last 3 years has been unbelievable. In fact, even the acceleration this year has been unbelievable. If you're using AI properly, you'll know what I mean in terms of how much it's advanced and adapted in literally this year. And my invitation to you is, this is not something to be scared of. It's not something to be overwhelmed. You just need a partner to hold your hand and to invite you onto this bus and to get you started. And that's the invitation we're giving you. Come and join the Wealth Accelerator. Come and build your system, build your clone, and start to get the results. So that would be my second wish for you. And my third wish for you is that, again, life can be challenging and life is difficult at the moment. There's a lot of conflict in the world. There's a lot of uncertainty and people aren't sure what to be doing. And within that environment, the best and easiest way to make the right decisions is to have clarity. And if you're using pattern recognition, if you're using AI properly, I've got more clarity in my life now than I've ever had, both in business and in my personal life. I'm being able to execute faster in everything that I do and add more value to more people, both personal and business. And it's just been phenomenal. And my wish for you is that you too get to experience that. So that's my personal invitation. Come and join us on the Wealth Accelerator. I wasn't even planning on doing this, but my business coach said, look, you've got to share this. I did say this earlier. You know, I got hold of Jaco Moritz, my business partner, who's using AI. I mean, makes me look like a preschool kid. And we got together and we said, right, let's share this with our community. It's time for them to be able to come on this journey. And so that's our invitation for you. If you sign up tonight, you get to be able to be one of those VIP members. And remember that the crash course is literally on Monday, so that you can become a power. So this is how to take you to that next level. But that's everything from me. I'd like to finish off with you write in the chat box one word that describes tonight. And I'm going to count down from 3 to 1, and then you can blow up the chat room. So 3, 2, 1. One word that describes tonight for you when you've heard about AI, you've looked at all the opportunities, I've explained the system to you, I've given you the opportunity to get on the bus. What has it meant to you, and where do you see the future going? So I can see there, freedom, powerful, motivating, eye-opening, enlightening, very informative, accelerating, wow, needed. Excellent. So ladies and gentlemen, that's all for me. If there's anything I can do to help with, I will stay online for a little bit longer. If there's any questions. Otherwise, I will see you in the Wealth Accelerator. Don't forget to go to that link that Shanika has very kindly put in there. And I do remind you, there's only space for 100 people. And so our mastermind and our wealth hackers got first option. And so this is your opportunity. You do not want to miss out. And 3 months from now, you will be kicking yourself if you don't have your clone, because the two options are very simple. 3 months from now, nothing's changed, and you keep being concerned about the impact AI is having. Or 3 months from now, you built your clone, you're a power user, and it's 10xing your life. That's your decision. Good night.